এই মুহূর্তে বাংলাদেশে জুলাই আগস্টে গণঅভ্যুত্থানের সময় মানবাধিকার লঙ্ঘনের যেসব ঘটনা ঘটেছে তার তদন্ত প্রতিবেদন প্রকাশ করছে জাতিসংঘের ফ্যাক্ট ফাইন্ডিং মিশন। জেনেভায় এই প্রতিবেদন সরাসরি উপস্থাপন করা হচ্ছে, আমরা সরাসরি যুক্ত হচ্ছি সেখানে।
To one of the questions as well.
Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon. One of the questions was about some of the worst examples, and the High Commissioner, of course, painted a picture of just the scale of the brutality that occurred. The report is unfortunately full of individual examples of the brutality that people were subjected to. Among one of the most harrowing testimonies was that of a young woman in Jatrabari who was holding a wounded protester when a police officer executed him at point-blank range. When she screamed in horror, the officer turned his shotgun on her and fired again, causing severe injuries. And in another case, the security forces shot a young boy in his hand with a shotgun from point-blank range to punish him for throwing stones, and this completely mangled the young boy's hand.
Thank you, Ravina. So we'll go back online. We have a couple of more questions pending. So Israt from DBC, I see you've raised your hand again. Let's see if we can get it working this time. Israt, I see you're unmuted. Okay, maybe there is a problem your end on that. So we have we'll take another two questions. So we have a question from Salahuddin Ahmed, and then a question from Mustafa Yusuf.
Thank you for giving me the floor to talk about. Just I would like to know about police reform and governance issues from Bangladesh. And since the enacted, the Police Act of 1861 during British rule, multiple attempts have been made to reform Bangladesh policing system. Given that the police ordinance of 2007 was drafted but never enacted yet, should the interim government prioritize implementing it for meaningful police reform? Do you think so? If it is, please let me know your insights, please.
Thank you. And then the next question. Mustafa?
Hello, everybody. I'm Mustafa Yusuf. I work for the Banner News. It's a U.S. government-funded news portal focusing on South Asia. My question is, could you be specific about the challenges the interim government might face to prosecute the perpetrators of July uprising, of July massacre? Thanks.
Sorry, the line was a bit muffled. Could you repeat the question?
Sure. Could you be specific about the challenges the interim government might face to prosecute the perpetrators of the July massacre? Thank you.
I'll pass over to Rory Mongovan, the head of the Asia Pacific section.
Thank you very much for the questions. And first on the police reform, which is really a key piece to this moving forward. And not just police reform, but reform to the security sector as a whole, because in Bangladesh, of course, one of the problems has been the militarization of policing and the addition of different forces, Rapid Action Battalion, Border Guards, ANSAR, other forces operating under military command or under the direction of the Prime Minister and senior executive. So this breakdown of independent policing, politicization of policing has really been one of the significant root causes identified in our report. We really recommend a reform, very far-reaching overhaul of the whole security sector. There needs to be a change of approach in managing public order, not relying on these old colonial powers, and emphasizing less lethal forms of policing that de-escalate situations rather than lead to these confrontations. as High Commissioner said, there needs to be a prohibition on the use of shop.
জাতিসংঘের ফ্যাক্ট ফাইন্ডিং মিশনের ব্রিফিং চলছিল, আমরা এতক্ষণ সরাসরি ছিলাম সেখানে।